So I just watched this video. Pat Condell pwns Brett Keane. And this video has nothing really to do with that video, except that that video got me thinking about other stuff. When I look at the state of the friggin' world and how the people are in it, it becomes apparent to me that people lack self-awareness so much. Not that I'm perfect at it or anything, but I really it's the one thing I think I do pretty well. There's so much that I don't do well with my life, but I think I'm aware of myself pretty well. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but I don't know. I am pretty introspective, and I look at myself often. But I realize that, God, some people just really can't do it. They just can't look at themselves. And where I'm going with this is it got me thinking about the education system. And the one thing that's really lacking in our education system is a good social studies program. I'm thinking that should be something that started in early elementary school. And instead of just being, I mean, when I grew up, social studies, it was political. It was about the politics of the world. And it was very limited. I mean, it was who exports what and who imports what, but that's not what they need to be teaching. That's all irrelevant bullshit. When do we use that? But what's not being taught, and it's not being taught in the homes either, and maybe it's not being taught in the homes because we didn't learn it growing up. Our lives are so busy, and we don't have time to teach this, and the schools don't think it's their domain to teach. But that's studies of how to interact with the rest of the world socially. And I think some of the biggest topics for that are empathy and self-awareness. Why isn't that being taught in our schools? I understand the separation of church and state, and I think that's a great idea. And I think that maybe initially there might be some people might not be in agreement with this being taught. They might think it's too religious. But it's not a religious thing. It's not even really a spiritual thing. It can be looked at that way, and some of the best teachers of it are spiritual leaders. But it's a social thing. To be able to look at yourself and to identify who you really are, and to be able to look at other people and give them that freedom to be who they really are, isn't being taught. Hence bullying. I mean, in an early human's development, they go through these different phases, and based on how their life has been, you could be a bully, you could be the bullied. Children can be very hard on each other that we stop doing as we grow up, or we stop doing it externally as we grow up, and don't show. We try to rein it in so that we aren't labeled as bad people. Where was I going? The stupid screen gave me a notification and it distracted me. Yeah, so we rein in those impulses that as children we don't know how to rein in. But imagine if starting at first grade or second grade levels, students started having a real social studies program where people came in and talked to them about empathy and compassion and self-awareness. Not on you could have a Buddhist monk come in a suit and tie, and this is so-and-so, give his name. You don't even have to bring religion into it, and let them teach the things that they know. You can have a Christian pastor come in and teach what he knows. It doesn't have to be, it can be psychiatrists, it can be counselors, it can be psychologists, it can be any number of people who have knowledge on this subject, and they could tailor it to children. They can have the children interact with each other in ways that help them learn empathy for each other. And and to be open up new lines of communication with other people that they don't know that they can have those lines of communication opened with other people. They might not be learning that at home. So give them the opportunity in school. It doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be that at all. It can be made an entertaining education. It can involve field trips. It can involve all, but that should be like number one. That's the most useful skill that humans can learn. And in this day and age, when things are getting so out of control as far as technology and war and the needs for I don't know, there's a billion things out there I could start listing, but don't we need to learn how to exist as a community most? So why aren't we being taught those things? It would be so much easier. It's taken me a long time to learn the things I've learned that I didn't learn in school. And why isn't it being taught in school? It seems just like such a simple little thing. It can make so much difference. I think I need to polish this idea up a little bit and send it to a school board or something just to see if they can't tell me, I mean, why? Why isn't that? Why can't it be? Am I wrong? Will that not make the differences I think it'll make?